Welcome back to my channel, Zorvax Animal. Today we are going to talk about an epic battle between a lion and a Komodo dragon. Both animals are powerful in their own way, but today we will see whose strength becomes the reason for victory. Let's begin. A hot afternoon covers the wild landscape as a mighty lion walks across its territory searching for food and water. The lion's greatest strength is its speed, powerful muscles, and hunting intelligence. It has spent its entire life defeating dangerous prey and defending its territory against rivals. However, the lion also has a weakness. It depends on close-range attacks, and a single mistake against a dangerous opponent can lead to serious injury. Not far away, hidden among rocky ground and dry bushes, a giant Komodo dragon slowly moves forward. The Komodo dragon's greatest strength is its tough scales, sharp claws, powerful bite, and incredible patience. Unlike many predators, it does not rush in a battle. It waits for the perfect moment to strike. However, its weakness is its lower speed compared to the lion. As the lion approaches a dry riverbank, it suddenly notices movement ahead. The Komodo dragon lifts its head and locks its eyes on the king of the savannah. For several seconds, neither animal moves. The lion carefully studies the giant reptile, while the Komodo dragon remains completely calm. The atmosphere becomes tense as both predators realize they are facing a dangerous opponent. The lion slowly begins circling, relying on its intelligence and agility, while the Komodo dragon stands firm, trusting its armor and powerful bite. Dust drifts across the battlefield as the distance between them grows smaller. Neither animal wants to back down. One is the ruler of the grasslands, and the other is one of the deadliest reptiles on Earth. The battle has not started yet, but the tension is already growing. Both animals are preparing for what could become a legendary showdown. Fire Lion Face Lizard. The tension continues to grow as the lion and the Komodo dragon face each other across the dry riverbank. Neither predator is willing to retreat. The lion slowly circles its opponent, carefully watching every movement. Its greatest strength is still its speed and intelligence. The lion knows that a quick and well-timed attack can change the battle instantly. However, it also understands its weakness. To defeat the giant reptile, it must move close enough to risk being bitten or slashed by sharp claws. The Komodo dragon remains calm and patient. Its greatest strength is its powerful bite, armored scales, and ability to remain focused under pressure. The reptile knows that if it can force the lion into a direct confrontation, its strength and durability could become a major advantage. However, its weakness remains its slower movement. If the lion keeps attacking from different angles, the Komodo dragon may struggle to keep up. Suddenly, the lion decides to test its opponent. With incredible speed, it rushes forward before instantly changing direction. The move is not a full attack. It is designed to measure the reptile's reaction. The Komodo dragon responds immediately, swinging its powerful tail across the ground. Dust flies into the air as the attack narrowly misses the lion. The predator quickly jumps back and realizes that the reptile is far more dangerous than it first appeared. Now the Komodo dragon slowly begins moving forward. Every step is careful and controlled. The giant reptile refuses to show fear. The lion continues circling, looking for a weakness, but the Komodo dragon gives it very few opportunities. Minutes pass as both animals continue studying one another. Then suddenly the lion launches its first real attack. Exploding forward with lightning speed, it aims for the reptile's side. The Komodo dragon twists its body and lashes out with its claws. Both animals narrowly avoid serious injury as they separate once again. The battle has now become real. The lion has shown its speed and agility, while the Komodo dragon has demonstrated its toughness and dangerous defenses. Neither fighter has gained a clear advantage, but both have learned an important lesson. This opponent will not be easy to defeat. As the sun begins to sink lower in the sky, the confrontation grows more intense, and the next stage of the battle promises to be even as the sun slowly begins to set. The battle enters a far more dangerous stage. The lion and the Komodo dragon have already tested each other's abilities, and now both understand the challenge standing before them. The lion's greatest strength remains its speed, agility, and hunting intelligence. It knows that attacking directly could be risky, so it continues moving around the reptile, searching for the perfect opening. However, the lion's weakness is becoming more noticeable. Constant movement and repeated attack attempts are slowly draining its energy. The Komodo dragon remains calm despite the pressure. Its greatest strength is still its armored scales, powerful claws, and incredible toughness. Every time the lion gets close, the giant reptile turns to face the threat and refuses to expose a weakness. However, the Komodo dragon's biggest weakness is its slower speed. It cannot react as quickly as the lion and must rely on patience and timing to defend itself. For several tense minutes, the lion circles through the dusty battlefield while the Komodo dragon follows every movement with sharp eyes. Suddenly, the lion sees what appears to be an opening. With explosive speed, it rushes toward the reptile's side and attempts a quick attack. The Komodo dragon instantly swings its powerful tail. Dust explodes into the air as the lion narrowly avoids the strike. The attack misses, but it reminds the lion how dangerous the reptile truly is. The lion quickly jumps back and begins circling once again. The Komodo dragon now starts advancing more aggressively. Its claws scrape against the rocky ground as it slowly pushes forward. The reptile understands that if it can force the lion into a close confrontation, its strength and durability could become decisive. The lion remains cautious. It continues relying on speed and intelligence, refusing to rush into danger. As darkness slowly approaches, both animals begin feeling the effects of exhaustion. The lion's breathing becomes heavier after hours of movement, while the Komodo dragon's slower body starts showing signs of fatigue as it constantly turns to track the predator. Neither animal is willing to back down. The lion believes its speed can eventually create an opportunity. The Komodo dragon believes its toughness can outlast the predator's attacks. As the sky turns orange and the shadows grow longer, the battle moves closer to its most critical stage. One mistake, one perfectly timed attack, or one moment of hesitation could completely change the outcome. The fight between the king of the savannah and the deadliest reptile is far from over. Fire lion-faced lizard as darkness spreads across the battlefield. The fight reaches its most intense stage. The lion and the Komodo dragon are both exhausted after hours of tension, movement, and close encounters. The lion's greatest strength is still its speed, agility, and ability to react quickly. Even after a long battle, it remains capable of attacking from different angles and keeping its opponent under pressure. However, the lion's weakness is becoming more serious. Every leap, every sprint, and every dodge has consumed valuable energy. The predator knows it cannot continue this strategy forever. The Komodo dragon stands its ground despite its fatigue. Its greatest strength remains its durability, armored scales, and powerful bite. The giant reptile has absorbed the pressure of the battle without losing confidence. Every time the lion approaches, the Komodo dragon is ready to defend itself. However, its weakness is also becoming clear. The constant turning and tracking of the lion's movements have slowed its reactions. It is still dangerous, but not as quick as it was earlier. For several minutes, both animals remain cautious. The lion circles through the shadows while the Komodo dragon watches carefully. The air becomes silent except for the sound of wind moving across the dry landscape. Then, suddenly, the lion notices something important. As the reptile turns to follow its movement, its reaction is slightly slower than before. The lion immediately increases the pressure. Moving with incredible speed, it begins forcing the Komodo dragon to change direction again and again. The reptile continues defending itself, but every movement requires effort. The battle is no longer only about strength and speed. It has become a test of endurance and patience. Suddenly, the lion launches its most aggressive attack so far. It rushes forward and attempts to catch the reptile off balance. The Komodo dragon responds instantly, swinging its tail and snapping its jaws with tremendous force. The lion barely escapes in time. Dust flies through the air as both fighters separate once again. The near collision proves that the battle could end at any moment. The lion knows it must stay focused. The Komodo dragon knows it cannot afford another mistake. Under the growing darkness, both predators continue staring at each other. One relies on speed and intelligence. The other depends on armor and resilience. Their strengths have carried them this far, but their weaknesses are becoming harder to hide. Now the final confrontation is approaching. The next attack could decide everything. Fire Lion-faced Lizard the Knight is now deep and silent. After hours of tension and confrontation, both the lion and the Komodo dragon have reached their limits. The battlefield is covered in dust and broken vegetation, showing signs of the long struggle. The lion's greatest strength remains its speed, agility, and hunting intelligence. Throughout the battle, it has relied on movement, patience, and timing to avoid the reptile's dangerous attacks. However, its weakness is clear. The long fight has drained much of its energy, and every move now requires extra effort. The Komodo dragon's greatest strength is still its armored body, powerful bite, and incredible toughness. Despite facing one of nature's most feared predators, it has refused to retreat. However, its weakness has become impossible to ignore. Hours of turning, defending, and tracking the lion have slowed its reaction significantly. For several tense moments, neither animal moves. Both stare at each other under the moonlight. The lion studies every detail of its opponent's movements. The Komodo dragon remains alert, but exhaustion is beginning to affect its focus. Then the decisive moment arrives. The reptile turns slightly slower than before while following the lion's movement. It is only a small mistake, but for a predator like the lion, that is enough. The lion instantly explodes forward with all the speed it has left. The Komodo dragon reacts and attempts to defend itself, but its slower reactions make the task much harder. Dust rises into the air as the final confrontation begins. The reptile fights with determination, using its strength and resilience until the very end. The lion continues relying on agility and precise timing, carefully avoiding the most dangerous attacks. After a fierce final exchange, the lion's speed and intelligence finally prove decisive. The Komodo dragon remains a powerful and dangerous opponent, but exhaustion prevents it from fully using its greatest strengths. Slowly, the battle comes to an end as silence returns to the wilderness.